We'll dance together.
Yes. Okay.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm here regarding health, healing. My journey has been 29 months. Quite powerful when it comes to manifesting what I want. And it's happening. There's been great improvement. But I guess I've come to the stage where I'm wondering, how long do I have to wait? You know, I'm getting impatient, as it were. I want
That
it.
impatience is a tripping point, isn't it?
I know that.
Because it's an indication of resistance. And certainly it's natural to have. But the key really is, if the processes or the effort are offered in order to improve a condition, then awareness of the condition is constantly in your vibration. And that slows everything down, slows the progress down. So it's hard to do under these conditions. But the key is to reach for the vibration of alignment apart from anything that you're trying to accomplish with it. This is the most interesting thing about this deliberate creation. And the key in hearing this lies in this brief analogy. When you do something in order to affect that, then the fact that it hasn't yet been affected gets in your way. When you do something not to accomplish that or not to affect that, but because it just feels good to do it, now you're on the right path. It's the motive. It's the motive that gets in the way. I'm loving you because I'm supposed to. Or I'm doing this because it will accomplish that. I'm going to work because work brings me money. And then the money will make me happy. So backwards. I'm working for the joy of interacting with others. I'm working for the fun of my own personal expansion. I go to work because it's nice to interplay with others. I like to have a point of focus because I like the expansion of my being. And oh, by the way, all this pleasure is also producing dollars. But you feel how you take the resistant part out of it?
Yes.
And so many are now willing to do a process. We always enjoy it when there is a physical manifestation, because the physical manifestation usually inspires the desire to do something about it. But usually the desire is to change the manifestation so that I can feel better, and that trips you up every time. You follow that completely,
Yes.
Don't you?
I do. It's difficult because sometimes I feel perfectly normal and wonderful, great. Then I walk past the mirror and I think, God, I've still got a long way to go. And then it starts all over again.
Well, avoid the mirrors. Esther
I
does
do.
it every day.
I do.
Avoid the mirror. Avoid anything that causes you to feel any discomfort. Just avoid it. Don't look there. Just don't look there. Don't look anywhere that doesn't feel good when you look there.
I thought that by avoiding looking means I'm focusing on what I don't want as well.
You sort of kind of are, but there's a difference between not looking and looking somewhere else. Look at what you want to see. Here's a good way of thinking about it. It will feel a little off the subject, but it isn't. It's right on. And because it will feel a little off the subject, it will be distracting, so it will be beneficial. So it's like wanting to feel appreciation, wanting to be appreciated. So you're sort of looking around for evidence that you are being appreciated, which is really tricky because people are so fickle. And they're not all that interested in you anyway. And so you sort of have to kind of make a spectacle of yourself to even get them to look at you. And so it's the hard way of going about it. But you can easily appreciate something. So when you're going for appreciation, rather than trying to get someone to shine it on you, you just shine it outward. So in the same way, focus where it feels good. Don't try to take the subject that doesn't feel good and make it feel good. Just focus where it feels good. Focus on what feels good. Focus on what feels good easily. And let the universe show you how quickly it responds to that. How quickly it responds to that.
Okay.
We were talking with someone many years ago on the telephone. Esther was doing consultations in those days. She had much more time than now for that. Talking to a woman who wanted something different than what we were giving. She wanted to know where what she wanted was, and she wanted to know right now. She wanted to know if we knew, she wanted to know where it was, and she wanted to know how to get there. And we knew she wouldn't be able to hear anything that we were saying because she wanted it delivered in a way that it never works. She wanted to defy the laws of the universe in order to get it. And so we knew that the only possibility we had of helping her was to help her into alignment. And we knew that the only possibility of helping her into alignment was to distract her from this wadded up vibration that she had going on. So we said, we would like to talk about blue glass with you. And she said, why? And we said, because you don't have any resistance to it. And she said, I know, I'm not interested in it at all. And we said, which makes it a really good subject. And she said, it's not a good subject to me. Why would I want to talk about something that's not important to me? And we said, because it will offer you a vibration, no resistance. And she said, I don't want a vibration of no resistance. I want what I want, and I want it now. I want to talk about what I want and how to get to it. So we went on anyway. We said, blue glass is really wonderful. It comes in lots of different textures, sizes. Some of it is opaque. Some of it is translucent. Some of it is transparent. All kinds of different textures. She was not the least bit impressed with the clarity of our vision. And so she said, I don't want to talk about that. We said, then let's talk about butterflies. I don't want to talk about butterflies. There are so many different species of butterflies. They come in all different sizes, all different colors. I don't want to talk about butterflies. Well, then let's talk about feathers. I don't want to talk about feathers either. Feathers, so many beautiful feathers on so many different creatures, all kinds of different feathers. She hung up. She hung up. She hung up, and Esther came out of the room, and she said to Jerry, this one is going to want her money back, and I'm happy to give her her money back because she did not get what she wanted from Abraham. Jerry didn't ask any questions. They were in La Jolla near San Diego, and they went to lunch. So they get out of the car. You've heard this story before, but it matters so much. They got out of the car, and Esther feels this powerful impulse to go into a shop. Now that, in and of itself, is not unusual. But the impulse was so powerful. It was so strong. They were on their way somewhere else. So she's dragging Jerry, kicking and screaming, into the shop with her, to the very back, to the very back, to the very back, and found a room that was ceiling to floor, wall to wall, blue glass, lighted in the most amazing way. And Esther did not make the association at all. They just looked at it. Jerry said, have you seen enough? Esther said yes, and off they went to George's for lunch. So they had lunch. And after lunch, they're walking down to what's called the Cove in La Jolla. Beautiful, beautiful place where the water and the rocks converge. And as they were walking toward these rocks, they're walking across this grassy area. And a flurry of butterflies surrounded them that was so intense they had to stop talking in order not to eat them. It was odd, unlike anything either of them had ever experienced. Jerry said, that was weird. Esther said, yeah, it was. She's still not making the association about the conversation. And then a little boy came running across the grass from way over in the distance. Jerry said, I think he's looking at you like he knows you. Esther said, I know, but I don't know him. He came running, got right up to her and handed her a feather that he had found on the ground, that he was inspired to bring right to her because he was one of the fairies of the universe in that clear space, a cooperative component ready to deliver to Esther a powerful message, you see. And then in that moment, Esther explained to Jerry, oh my God, I can't believe it. Abraham was just talking to this woman about blue glass and butterflies and feathers. They spent a minute or two on each subject, and it must have activated in my vibration enough that in this state of non-resistance, the universe is showing me that anything that's active in your vibration is going to manifest, and it's going to manifest fast, you see. But Esther, like the woman, had no resistance to blue glass and no resistance to butterflies and no resistance to feathers. In other words, it was a subject that was clear. And when it was clear and active and therefore in alignment, there was an immediate universal response about it, you see. But there are so many subjects of things that feel like great importance that are not pure in your vibration. Almost nobody that you know in human form is pure about the subject of physical well-being. You've heard too much, you've seen too much, you know too much, you have weighed the pros and the cons of too many conditions, you've evaluated too much. There's too much that's active in your vibration for it to be that simple, you see. But sometimes when you powerfully want something, your desire can override your belief if your belief is soft enough to allow it, you see. You have to distract yourself from hindering beliefs. So you have to goose up the beliefs that help and play down the beliefs that don't help, a little bit at a time. And you've been doing that. That's why you have been receiving steady improvement. Not quick, but steady. And that is enough, you see. But when you grow impatient, in that feeling of impatience, then you're shifting a little. In that feeling of impatience, you're introducing more of the contrary thought. So just hang in there and enjoy the experience of clarifying your vibration. Everybody wants this. This is a journey you really, 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 really want. You all want clear vibration. Do you know, one who is connected to that pure positive energy is more powerful than millions who are not? And do you realize, you don't quite yet, but you will, how simple it is to offer a singular vibration. All you got to do is stop doing the but part. You've been trained to weigh the pros and the cons and the pluses and the minuses. So many people have been clamoring for your agreement with what they think and your desire to please them by giving them agreement with what they think has got all of you full of split energy. Don't you want to say to the next person that tries to convince you of something, hey, pretty happy in my thoughts about this? What are your thoughts about that? Well, I don't think I'm going to tell you because I sense a conversion coming on. You sort of have trained each other. It comes back to what we were talking about earlier about appreciating rather than being appreciated. In your caring how others feel about you.
I stopped caring.
Isn't that a wonderful thing?
I did.
Isn't that a wonderful thing?
I had to.
Really?
Survive, yeah.
Really?
I had to stop.
Really?
Had to stop.
Are you saying to us that you created a situation to give yourself the greatest gift that anyone could give to anyone?
I sure did. I had to. I didn't have a choice.
Are you saying to us that you put yourself in a situation where you had to give up something that wasn't serving you? Good job. Mm-hmm. Good job.
And despite all of this,
it's the greatest gift.
I'm a happy bunny. Believe it or not, I'm really happy.
We believe it. We believe it.
Because I know it's going to end.
Yeah.
I know it just is. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know it's going to happen.
Doesn't matter. The greatest gift that you could give anyone or yourself is the gift of freedom from caring what others think. Because when you care what they think, it splits your energy. And when it splits your energy, you're not mating with your soul. When you're not mating with your soul, you're not experiencing that unconditional alignment. And when you're not experiencing unconditional alignment, there's some degree of negative emotion, so you're not free. Because the only thing that you're trying to get free of is resistance, you see. We think you're in the perfect place. We think you're having the perfect unfolding. We think you've helped everyone understand it more clearly.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's good to get that confirmation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Really good. Best not distracts Esther, sort of shakes her out of her. We won't hug, we'll dance.